All right, so we're going to talk about passing temporary variables into classes that we've made. In this example, I want to place all these little rectangles across the bottom of the screen very evenly. They're each 50 wide and the screen is 500 wide, so I need 10 of them in all. So when I'm placing them, I don't want to place them randomly. Their heights, of course, are random. I don't want to place them randomly. I want to place them according to, so they all line up together. So the first one is going to be at 0, and the next one's going to be at 50, and the next one's going to be at 100, and then this one is going to be at 150, and so on and so forth until this last one is at 450. It has an x value of 450. So when I'm creating, I've made this class called ground, and it has an x and y variable, but the x value that I'm going to use is going to be set to a temporary variable. I'm passing in, the constructor is taking in a temporary variable. And this is because I want to tell each one not to be randomly located along the x-axis, but very orderly and irregularly spaced along the x-axis. So I set the class variable equal to that temporary variable. I have to say the data type here, it needs to be the same as the data type here. And I said temp x, just short for temporary x value. This is the only two places in this whole program that this will exist. The y is going to be random. In terms of the height, I want some of them short and some of them tall. So when I'm creating these objects from the ground class, ground, rocks is going to be the object name, equals new ground. I put the 10 in here to say I'm making 10 of them because they're 50 wide, and the screen is 500 pixels wide. And then here when I initialize them, I say rocks I, so each one of these 10 rocks is going to be a new ground object, but instead of passing in a random value or instead of passing in a actual number, I'm using the counter variable to get all those values, 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. So the first time through this loop, I has a value of 0. So the number that's going to be passed into the constructor here is 0. The second time through, I has a value of 1. So I times 50, 1 times 50 is 50. So the second one will get a temporary value of 50. The third time through, I has a value of 2. So then 2 times 50 is 100, and that will give you the third one the value of the 100, exactly spaced the way we want it. A trick is, if you're spacing something evenly, if they're 50 wide, that's what I'm going to be multiplying by, or say how many you have. You've got 10 and you're spacing them 50 wide, so this times 50 will make them happen that number will happen every 50 times. The numbers will be 0, 50, so on and so forth. If for some reason you need not to start at 0, you can just add on. If you wanted them each to start at 10, it's going to give me a weird little 10 pixel gap over at the left hand side, but you can always use addition if you need to bounce everything over a little bit. So you can use addition there as well. So that's passing temporary variables.